Okay, so I actually recorded a whole video earlier, like an hour ago, um, but it just didn't work. Like the point of this video is to make a button, right? So like, I don't think I think like late last night, I'm not really sure, maybe this morning, I ended up having text. We can do text, and I think I've demoed, like, we have states before. This so this is the active state, but we also have the hover state, and then there's the default, which is what you're looking at right now, and then we can render text. Okay, that's pretty cool, but that's not a UI framework. That's just like you can render quads and you can render text. Okay, great. But because I'm the chosen one, because I'm the biggest choice, let's go make a button. Okay. So actually, I want to talk about the bug that I started this video last time, and then there was a bug, and I want to talk about that bug real quick. Because it completely derailed the video, and it was just like, it ended up being like 40 minutes and not really like worth watching, because I was just trying to find this bug where I could just like literally explain to you what the bug is. So what happened was, before, I had a UI with like 4 or 5 different elements, and so you could, like, instead of like one of these, I think there were 3 or 4 of them, and you could click them and whatever, like you could see this. Okay, cool. Um, but when I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a button, and I'm gonna just have this box, and then we're gonna add some text inside of it. That's only 2 elements. So what I've realized is that this state buffer, if it's under 4 elements, like, basically, like, when it passes it to the GPU, if it's under the size of a vec4, it's not gonna pass anything. Like, the number of, like, it has to be in increments of vec4, and it's gonna round down. That's what I realized. So um yeah, because as you see here, like, we're again, just please don't judge me for my shader code. Maybe if I die in like 20 years or 30 years, you can judge me for it, but if I die right now, that is not what I should be judged on. That's not what I want to be judged on. So state, text will fetch is going to return a vec4. So if there's nothing in that first vec4, the state's always 0. So yeah, lesson learned. Okay, so we have a button. Now let's take let's take this text, and then let's take everything else out. Um and so we'll say children begin, and then we'll add our text, and then that's it. So this is going to be our layout. So if we do something like that, let's see what happens. Okay, it crashed. Oh, because yeah, because there's no parent layout. So basically this should be like, oh, another thing I learned is that you actually have to pass um you have to pass floats to these things. That was another bug. I'm glad I'm not going through this um again, like, or on the video, because that was another one that took forever to find. So if we say, like, if we want to put it at 100, 100, make quad field attributes except ins. Okay, so we got some text, and it looks like the text color didn't inherit all the way down. Oh well, I think we can fix that. Okay, but it's not really looking like a button yet, because this text, why is it on the outside? Okay, well, first of all, let's make the layout direction to the right, because rarely, like, you could have icon button or icon button. I'm just gonna make it to the right because it really shouldn't make a difference, and I'll show you. I'm just gonna make it to the right, because that's how I think about like center, like text in a button is gonna be centered horizontally and vertically, but it's gonna be centered vertically by default when we do this. So check this out. So instead of specifying the width and the height, we should say op contents width, op contents height. Okay, so this should wrap it nicely. Look at that. That looks like a button, right? Okay, let's go back to our reference. Okay, so the text is actually left aligned. Well, it's sort of unclear. I'm not going to mess around with that because we don't really have the concept of alignment. But, well, what we could do actually is we could say this button is always going to be a certain width. I'm not going to do that right now because I mean, you could handle this a bunch of different ways. Like, man. Okay, I'm just gonna do this for now. So we want to say, let's say our layout. Maybe we want less margin. Do we have a margin function? I don't think we do. No. Inline auto margin. I think margin 2. What does write layout config do? Oh. My bad. I forgot how this is supposed to work. We could say something like dot margin equals probably something like that. Why can't comma 5.f 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 5.f. Okay. Okay, and then we can get rid of this function. This sort of like this API probably needs to change. I mean, this is just not ideal. Okay, let's say like 7, 7, 7, 7. I kind of like 7. I think that's what I had in the old library for a button. All right, and then what is the text color? Let's say it's 170, 170, 170, which is what it should be inheriting. It should be inheriting wait, we don't have a pane. We don't have a pane. So it's not going to be inheriting anything. Okay. We should probably have like body style or app style or global. But we can do that later. So we can say button gets text color As this should probably be like 175. Let's run it again. Excuse me. She woke up singing my song. She woke up singing my song. Look at that. That's a button, baby. All right, let's do with this what we can. I think. Okay, yeah. Let's do something like that. I think there's some margin helper. I think we could just say like margin 2 7. Yeah. That should theoretically work. Okay. There we go. So now what happens if we want to say the width is going to be fixed to 150. And then maybe let's make the font size. Do I have a font size? No, I don't. So let's say font size can be 20. I think font size is just the int, right? All right, where's this function declared? Find it. Text color, auto, font size, const, int, font size, style, state, writer, right, style field, UI.style buffer writer, style, op, font size, return this, okay. Style op, we have to add font size. Once all this stuff is done, I'm gonna be so happy. Text color, font size, and then style compiler, let's say text color, font size, read int. Okay. Should probably say what size int, but whatever. That should work. Okay, so if we always have, if we have a fixed width, maybe the fixed width is going to be like 100. And maybe the border width is going to be more like 5. Just so it's a little bit more obvious. She woke up singing my song. Oh. Very interesting. Okay, so the border width took over the whole thing at 5. That's weird. But at 2, we don't have this problem. Unless I encountered another bug, of course. Maybe if we say for 4, maybe there's a bug where the border width can't be larger than the border radius. Yeah, that looks to be the case. Weird bug. Weird bug. What happens if we do border left and border right? Do we have that implemented in the shader? If border enabled and border bottom, I don't I don't know what the hell is going on there. Let's just say border all. Or we could try border. I'm gonna just say border all. Whatever. Let's make it 3 and 3 though. And then I think I have like a nice monospace font. Start and pop. Alright. So if we wanted something like this interface, we have colors, library, MISC setup. So we could do something like this. We could say box, quad. We'll put it like left, top 100, and then we'll say like width is OP contents width, height is OP contents height, and then we'll say dot layout and config, and we'll say the layout direction goes to the right, and then we'll say dot margin equals tie UI margin to 0, because this is sort of like a non-rendering thing. Dot children okay, so that okay, now we have a child, and our left should be OP layout ledger X, OP layout ledger Y with 100 contents height. Okay, so if we wanted to say colors, library, MISC, setup, obviously this is a lot, right? But okay. Ooh. Oh. Always gotta have your begin. Always gotta have your begin. Setup. What happened with setup? Okay, that's strange. Is it the last? Is that always gonna be an issue? Wow, that could be a problem. That's a real bug. Okay. I'm going to stop it here because this is, now we're veering into like, okay, like what the hell is going on? Because this is confusing. I mean, maybe, oh, okay. So it should probably be, okay, this is what it should probably be. I actually can fix this. This is the same issue as before. So if the size mod 4 is not equal to 0, and remainder is not equal to 0, resize context size plus remainder. Oh. Now this should also style buffer, style buffer, style buffer. Okay. Wow. Okay, that should fix it. I guess the style, everything has to be in increments of 4. Okay, that fixed that, but there's 2. Oh, you know what it should be? It should be 12. Because, yeah. Right? Yeah, 3 times. Okay. How big is style buffer now? 24. Because how many styles do we need? We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Let's try that. You know, we're trying anything at this point. Fascinating. Do we do MISC? I'm gonna say run. Wow. All right, I have to. I actually do have to go, but wow. Okay. Well, that's pretty dope. All right. Peace.